Hey there, Disney Dreamers. Welcome to my channel. And this is the first video of this channel. And I am so happy that you decided to click on this video. So, an introduction is in order. Hi. This channel is called Beyond the Disneyverse, and you've just fallen right into the rabbit hole of the Disneyverse. Today I am diving into a movie that is super close to my heart, and that is Lilo and Stitch. When I tell you guys, like 2 years ago when I found out they were making a live action Lilo and Stitch, I lost my pixie dust. I was so excited. I was counting down the days that would be out. I was like on the app saying when tickets are going on sale. I was, let's just say I was beyond excited when it came out, and I would love to say that I've seen it more than once, because it's true. So today I'm gonna dive deeper and give you guys my honest opinion on the 2025 live action and compare it to the 2002 animated version, seeing which is better. Before we jump into it, a little disclaimer: these are my opinions and everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and I would love to hear about your opinions in the comments, but all I'm asking is that we keep it nice, please. If you guys haven't noticed already, this is gonna be major spoilers for both the animated movie and the live action movie. The live action movie came out in May, so it's been a few months. I specifically wanted to wait a few months because not everyone is a Disney fan like me, so it's probably taken them a while. Also, full transparency, Lilo and Stitch is my favorite Disney movie of all time, so I might be a little biased on this, but as I said before, these are going to be my completely honest reviews. So without further ado, for the first time ever, let's just fly into it. How this review will work, I will narrow it down into 5 categories, which is heart, story, characters they've changed or like kept the same, the music, and what they kept versus what they changed, like movie plots and so on and so forth. The movie opens up like the 2002 version in a space shuttle. I'm gonna give Disney a point right off the bat for keeping its originality. We are met with the Grand Councilwoman, which, by the way, is extremely impressive. I think Disney, live action people, they did a great job capturing like the costume in this. Like, look at this like picture from the 2002 version, and then look at this picture from the 2025 live action one. Like, what? It looks like it jumped right off the page. And I think that they did an amazing job with the voice acting, with not just her, but with every other like character that needed it, but we'll get to that later. I honestly thought when I saw this movie for the first time, the Grand Councilwoman, I thought she was voiced by the same person that did it in the 2002, but unfortunately she did not. She was voiced by some other person. I'll put her picture up right here and her name. But that's what made it so good, that I was duped by that. One thing I noticed early on that I'm still kind of like iffy about it is that in the live action there was no Captain Gontu. And if you don't know, Captain Gontu in the earlier development of Lilo and Stitch in the 2002 version, he was the main villain that successfully captured Stitch and Lilo along the way. And he was just described as like a shark with legs, and it was just, he was really huge. And it's like, unfortunately, he was not in the live action, which I was pretty bummed about. Like, Disney did explain why he wasn't in, because he's so giant, it would have been like really difficult for them to live action that, which I understand. But in my opinion, it's like, I've seen Disney like CGI like bigger stuff, so it's like I didn't understand. But it's like, I'm not in their shoes. I don't even know what the heck they do behind the scenes. So it's like, I absolutely hate how they made Jumba in the animated is the inventor that created 626, or in other cases Stitch. And the one thing that I didn't really like about Jumba was that there was no accent. I didn't like that. I tried to love it. I did like it because it was like, it was casted as Zach Galifianakis. I'm sorry if I say his name like totally wrong. I will put his picture up right here and his name. And yeah, I apologize in advance because I can't say his last name. But I think he did a good job. But I still strongly believe that he could have, like, in my opinion, because in the live action, obviously, he's like an alien form, but then he switches to human form to disguise himself to try to capture Stitch on Earth. If you guys know, in the animated film, they didn't switch. They just disguised themselves as really bad replicas of humans. And I think it's so funny that, like, no humans, like, figured out that they were... It was just a whole gag, and I just thought that was really genius of them to do it that way. But they didn't do it this way. They just had them disguised as humans. And I just feel like Zach could have been the human form, but they could have had someone that can do the accent, do the voice of Jumbo when he's in his alien form. Now, I did see on an interview that Zach did explain why he didn't do the voice. It was simply because he just couldn't do it. He tried, he just couldn't do it. And I respect that in an actor, but it's like, still, like, Jumba needed to have the accent, because without the accent, it was just another person in my eyes. And then, speaking of the first alien, Jumba, let's jump to the second alien, Pleakley. Guys, they did him so well. Oh my gosh, I loved his character. I loved, oh my gosh, how they did it. Billy Magnuson. Again, I can't pronounce last names, so I'll put up a picture in his last name. If you don't know who Billy is, he's like a well-known actor in the Disney universe, only because he played in Into the Woods, and he did Rapunzel's prince. And at first, I didn't know he could sing, but he could sing. He surprised me, and he surprised me when I heard that he was going to be doing Pleakley. There is one thing that I really miss about Pleakley, but we'll talk about that later in the video. But other than that, I think they did Pleakley really well, and if I were to direct the movie again, I wouldn't change the actor choice in Pleakley. I think he did a really good job. We talk about who this movie is circled around, and it's Stitch. Experiment 626, played by his original voice counterpart in the 2002 animated version, Chris Sanders. And Chris Sanders, if you don't know, Chris Sanders had a role in developing Lilo and Stitch. He actually took part in the story. And this time he didn't really take part in the story, but he took part in voicing Stitch again, because I feel like, and I felt like he felt the same way, no one can replace him. No one can do as good of a Stitch impression as he can. I've seen a couple dubs on YouTube, but come on, it's Chris Sanders. He's Stitch. He was great. I felt like there was a lot of comedic background with the 2002 animated. He literally brought some of that content to this movie, and I thought it was amazing. Chef's kiss. He put the Mickey ears on the perfect ice cream sundae at Disneyland. So yeah. Then Lilo, person that they went with, I'm really glad that she was Hawaiian native, because if she wasn't Hawaiian native, I would be really concerned, because the movie is based out of Hawaii. Other than that, the person that they picked to play Lilo, she is adorable. She is so cute. I will put up a photo, and I will put up a photo of animated Lilo. What? The casting director did an amazing job. And I saw the other competition for little kids. It was really, I'm guessing it was really hard to cast. But they did it, and she did not disappoint. She can hula dance. I looked it up. She started hula dancing when she was 5, maybe 6 years old or something. Oh my, she was amazing. Oh my gosh, she was so cute. She brought Lilo's sass with her. The one thing that I would have kept about Lilo is that in the animated version, Lilo's really passionate, not other than hula, which by the way is kept in the live action film, don't worry, but her other passion for photography. They totally threw that away in the live action, and I would have loved to seen that play out a little more. Nani and David, I loved their dynamic. David was a whole Hawaiian native. He looked so much like David in the animated version. It was weird. And Nani, I don't know what other people think, because I know there are some people out there that hate that she was cast as Nani, because people say she's not 100% Hawaiian native, and it's I do not care. A little fun fact for all of you Disneyverse people out there. They brought a lot of the original voices back. They brought the original voice of Nani back, but she played the caseworker. And don't worry, Cobra Bubbles is still in it, but he's not doing the role that you expect him to, because that was replaced by the voice that played Nani in the animated version. And I thought that was so cute. And also, I thought this was really funny. So, Nani's job is a luau, the animated version, and her boss, and David's boss. David's original voice actor from the 2002 movie was the boss of both David and Nani. And I thought that was so cute. That was so cute for them to do. I was a little confused as to why they came back, but the original voice of Lilo didn't come back. like Devea Chase. I would have loved to seen her in any part of the film. You remember Amy Hill, who played the grocery clerk in the animated movie? Well, she played David's grandmother. When it comes to the story, the plot is like similarly the same because obviously it's like counterparts between each other, but you can obviously tell that there's more of a dynamic and of a story arch in the live action. Like, let's take Nani for an example. Nani has more of a character arc in her in the live action, because in the animated she is just known as Lilo's parental figure and big sister. But in the live action, it's told that she was offered a full scholarship to go to a school to study marine biology. And a second time they tried, but Nani still refuses because she has to take care of her sister and whatnot. And everyone keeps telling her to go, but she refuses. So it's clear that Nani's main focus is Lilo, and I like how they stuck with that. We also get like a deeper like explanation as to what her training to be a surfer was, because in the animated movie it's briefly mentioned. If you could see, if you took like a screenshot of the photo, like I will take a screenshot right here. If you see like the circle right there, it's a bunch of surfing trophies. So obviously it's mentioned that Nani was like a surfer champion and she could have gone big, but because of what happened with their parents, Nani stepped down and took the role of the parent. But in the live action, it's still mentioned that she is a surfer, but there's more depth into it, as if we know how she trained. We saw like past photos of her. I just thought that was really cool that they like dove deeper into that little snippet in the animated film and made it more of a big deal in the live action. The live action was, I felt, more serious because in the end, it's like the directors knew that this movie was not meant for like kids today. It was meant for like kids who watched the Lilo and Stitch, who watched it in theaters. Directors knew that it was for like the millennial babies, not the I think this generation is Generation Alpha. Not for this generation. The new material, like I said before, they gave Nani a new arc. They gave David a grandma, which was Amy Hill. I feel like that was great. Cobra Bubbles, I would say that this is in the middle of new material and not, because it is mentioned in the animated film at the end that he is a CIA agent, or he was in the 70s. But as of now, he's still keeping with the CIA. And then he just goes undercover to be a social worker in the live action. So they kind of changed it a little, but the social worker of Cobra Bubbles was still kind of there. And then also new material, I absolutely loved how they added like ethnicity to like their Hawaiian culture, obviously, and the dances. Oh my god, the music, it was fantastic. The music, oh my god, the music, a total win, like 10 out of 10 points for me for the music. I think they did amazing. Throughout the film, you could hear a bunch of Elvis Presley songs, which, as you know, in the animated film was like a staple to like the music genre. And I just felt like it was really cool for them to incorporate Elvis in the movie. And plus the guy, I can't say his name, I apologize, but I will put his photo up and his name right here. this guy sang the original, like, 2 songs for the animated movie, Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride and Me Hello Lilo. I probably said it wrong. He did sing an original song, which I love. He did not sing Roller Coaster Ride. It was another person. I'm not gonna say I like it or I don't like it, the new Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride. I'll probably learn to love it because it's a Disney song. But I honestly think that like the guy can sing, and he's a Hawaiian native too, so it made sense that a Hawaiian native would do that. Burning Love, which in the animated film was sung by Winona. I thought she was gonna return. I just assumed that she was gonna return and sing it because I don't know why, I just assumed. Bruno's nephews. This is a picture of them who sang Burning Love. And let me tell you, these two did not disappoint at all. Like, I was impressed. Now it's time for the moment we all have been waiting for. Final thoughts and ratings. So for the story aspect of it, I would give it a solid 10 out of 10. Only because I felt like they kept the essence by adding meaningful changes. I love the extra focus on Hawaiian culture. For heart, I would have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I love Nani's growth, but her temporary separation from Lilo felt a bit off, given the whole Ohana means family and family means no one gets left behind theme. For characters and new concepts, obviously a 10 out of 10 for me. Great casting, awesome development for lesser used characters in my eyes. Props for bringing back original voices and new roles. Then for the new material, 9.5 out of 10. Smart additions that represented the original fans. New material, obviously 9.5 out of 10 again. Smart additions that respected the original fans while introducing something fresh for a new audience. And kept/didn't keep, I'm sorry, I would have to give it an 8.7 out of 10. Jumbo really needed that accent, that's why the score's low. Still, the director clearly cared and did a really great job overall. Thank you so much for exploring the Disney-verse with me today. I'm truly honored to have you here for the beginning of this magical journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you're not yet part of the verse, hit that subscribe button and ring the enchanted bell so you never miss a step into the wonder beyond the Disney-verse. Until next time, stay magical, stay kind, and always believe there's a little more magic just beyond the Disney-verse.